Once upon a time, in the bustling town of Hypocrisy Hollow, there lived a group of critters who fancied themselves as the finest specimens of morality, preaching virtue and righteousness to anyone who dared to listen. Amongst these critters was a particularly cunning fox named Sly. Sly was known far and wide for his silver tongue and his knack for turning any situation to his advantage. He overheard a heated debate between two groups of critters. As Sly strolled through the town square, on one side stood the righteous rabbits, pointing fingers and casting blame on the government for all of their troubles. On the other side, who shook their heads in dismay at the folly of their brethren, the wise old owls. As Sly listened in, he couldn't help but chuckle to himself. Oh, how amusing it is to watch these fools squabble, blaming the government for their own misdeeds, while they turn a blind eye to the corruption within their own hearts. He thought. Sly approached the gathered crowd and cleared his throat. My dear friends, it seems to me that we're all barking up the wrong tree here, he began in his smoothest voice, when we're the ones corrupting ourselves from within. Blaming the government won't solve a thing. With their eyes wide with surprise, who was this fox to speak such truths? Shouldn't we have the right to voice our grievances? One rabbit piped up. But what about the freedom of speech? Sly chuckled softly and shook his head. Freedom of speech means nothing if your words fall on deaf ears. And as far as elections and voting, he replied, what's the point when the choices are as often rotten as a month-old turnip? Pondering Sly's words, the critters murmured amongst themselves. Perhaps there was some truth to what he said. And what about the education? A young squirrel spoke up timidly. Isn't that the key to breaking free from this cycle of ignorance and corruption? Ah, my dear friend, you've hit the nail on the head. Sly nodded agreeably. Education is indeed the key, but not just any education. We must educate ourselves to see through the lies and deceit that surround us, to break free from the shackles of our own making. With that, Sly bid the critters farewell and disappeared into the shadows, leaving them to ponder his words long into the night. And so, dear listeners, let us heed the wisdom of Sly the Fox and strive to educate ourselves in the ways of truth and righteousness, for only then we can hope to break free from the chains of hypocrisy and stand as true equals amongst our fellow creatures.